Hey all, Alex here from Music Hub, the home of the Music Deep Dive. And today we'll be doing a review of the 2011 biography by Claire Tomalin, Charles Dickens, A Life. Claire Tomalin will be a familiar name to those of you who followed this channel since the outset. My first proper review was for her biography of Jane Austen, released in 2005. That biography is probably Tomalin's most famous book, but her work with Dickens might be her crowning achievement from a research standpoint. In 1990, Tomalin published the book The Invisible Woman, which was an attempt at reconstructing the relationship that Dickens had with Nellie Ternan, an actress who the author supposedly fathered a child with in the early 1860s. The book was controversial for its suggestions, with other Dickens scholars accusing Tomalin of speculation and connecting dots that don't exist. I haven't read this book yet, and so I won't pass judgment, but Tomalin does address this in this full-length Dickens biography, and admits that the evidence surrounding the Nellie Ternan relationship is at least very open to interpretation. One advantage that Tomalin's Dickens biography has over the Jane Austen bio is in the amount of research materials available. A lot of Austen's letters were destroyed after her death, but Dickens has swaths of letters and biographical accounts available, so if anything, there's an excess to sort through rather than a dearth. And Tomalin is pretty suave with how she presents her research. She's not excessive in interrupting the narrative with direct quotes, but she slides her references in neatly, quoting only when it's needed. You can easily tell when she's referencing letters because she'll mention exact dates of events, extremely minute details that could only be described by the individuals involved. It sort of transcends the academic approach that Tomalin is obviously bringing to these books, making them slightly more accessible to the general reader. That said, one thing I am realizing about Tomalin's writing is that it is pretty damn dry overall, and this time I can't shield her behind the excuse of she didn't have much material to work with. This is a very workmanlike biography in how it moves from point to point, from date to date, and certainly at times I wish the author had taken a bit more time to explore Dickens' personality. I only say a bit more, mind, because she does talk about his evolution from a wide-eyed, amiable young writer to a weathered, manipulative older man, but sometimes the narrative does get bogged down in the mechanics of how Dickens got someplace rather than exploring why he got there. I also question Tomalin's appraisal of Dickens' novels and the time, or lack thereof, that she gives certain ones. A Tale of Two Cities, possibly Dickens' most famous work, is given about a page of analysis compared to something like Martin Chuzzlewit, one of his more less famous 1840s novels, which gets about 4 pages and more words of praise. As ever in these academic biographies, the analysis is an excuse to present the writer's opinions of certain works, and Tomalin is not the worst offender in that regard, but you still can tell pretty easily which novels she's drawn to and which ones she isn't. This isn't to be hypercritical of the book, though, because I think the core research is quite good, and I like how Tomalin is challenging certain popular ideas surrounding Dickens, like his treatment of female characters being generally pretty poor, and the aforementioned affair with Nellie Ternan. I just think what we're left with is a very solid biography of Dickens that isn't quite great, and considering this is hailed as probably the best modern-era Dickens biography, I think we should be shooting for even higher quality as we document the life of one of England's greatest authors. And that's it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. As always, more reviews are to come. Tell a friend as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here at your home of the Music Deep Dive.